Outdoors Delmarva covers everything outdoors, including real hunting and fishing situations involving wildlife. Now, we do our best each week to bring you tasteful content, but viewer discretion is advised. Now, enjoy the show.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
We begin this week by talking Tangier Classic at Thorns Marine in Stockton.
We'll mosey our way up to Bridgeville for the Single Action Shooting Society's Delaware State Championships.
We head to Chincoteague to meet the Minnow Man in this week's Remembering Scorchy Talls.
And then it's off to Cambridge to hit the water with the Eastern Shore Sailing Association.
Outdoors Delmarva starts right now.
Welcome to Outdoors Delmarva, the show dedicated to a commitment of conservation and to the community that makes Delmarva's outdoors such a hidden gem here in the Mid-Atlantic. My name is Jason Lee.
And I'm Lauren Hitch. And Jason and I have been getting along so well together. We've been seeing eye to eye on everything with this show. Such great creative aspects. But you know the phrase, happy work wife, happy life.
Yeah, she's not wrong.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And now, here's Jason Lee and Lauren Hitch.
The Tangier Classic is coming up at the end of September.
And once again, the presenting sponsor for the Classic is Thorns Marine.
We're always looking for sponsors, and I'll tell you what, it's very, very helpful when we start out our year every year with a known, something that's going to come back every year, consistency. And Mr. Kevin Thorns, my hat's off to you and your family. I mean, you started this business 40-some years ago. You know, hunters, the second generation coming in here and just going to take that right into the future with you. And I'll tell you, I mean, you guys have supported us every year, the Tangier Classic. And of course, being a title sponsor means a lot to us because it sets the playing field for the rest of the season, and we can't thank you enough.
We appreciate the opportunity to do it. It's a good cause. You donate all the proceeds to, the anglers get some for participation, and then Emerson.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The help that goes out to the family and the support, I'm sure that it's greatly appreciated in their time of need. We do the sponsorship for that, as well as it gives us exposure, brings in new customers to us, so that we can, provide services, whether it's a repower or general service.
If you've never seen the Tangier Classic before, what we're all about, just go back to our website. Take a look at the families we've been able to benefit and touch in the community before. This year we picked Emerson Thomas. And Emerson's got a heck of a road in front of her, and her family's been through a lot. She's got some conditions that are pretty difficult to deal with. Hydrocephalus, cerebral palsy, epilepsy. Just here recently, she just got done with a major surgery that removed a significant portion of her brain. And just this week, we're seeing new updates on Facebook of her dancing, learning how to re-walk. Her mom talked with us about how the fact that she had to train those neuro pathways in the brain to switch to the other side in preparation for that surgery. Folks, that's what we do with the Tangier Classic. Folks like Kevin Thorns and Hunter, all the other sponsors we have that come and get involved with us, that's how we make our impact. Not only do we put on a great fishing tournament, but we make an impact in our community. Now, if you're thinking about getting involved, we need volunteers. We need sponsors. Just go to our website and find out how to become a sponsor. If you've never done it before, I challenge you to get involved with something you will not regret.
If you'd like to become a sponsor or to learn more about the tournament, go online to tangierclassic.com.
Still to come on the show, we'll meet the Minnow Man from Chincoteague in this week's Remembering Scorchy Talls.
But up next, we head to Bridgeville for the Single Action Shooting Society's Delaware State Championships.
Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. We'll be right back.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, which is presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Thorns Marine and Bell Creek Equipment.
Welcome back. Jason, do you remember growing up playing cowboys?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I loved the Old West. Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, Buffalo Bill Cody, I loved it all.
So then you're probably a fan of the Single Action Shooting Society.
I sure am, and we were really excited to be invited to go check out the Delaware State Championships up in Bridgeville last month.
All right, well, it's the 17th annual Delaware State Cowboy Action Shooting Championship. We've had it, this is our second year here. We've had it in Seaford one year and then Sudlersville for several years. We finally got set up here with a bunch of bays so we could do it, so we've moved it here to Bridgeville.
There are different categories for different types of shooting or costuming, so, but we all shoot the same stages. 5 stages today, 5 stages tomorrow, 10 combined. Total time determines the overall winner, and then there's winners in each category, shooting category. We promote history and use of the old style firearms, single action pistols, lever action rifles, double barrel shotguns, and or the 97 pump shotgun.
We make everything. We buy the steel, obviously, but you know, we buy the targets and the stand. And a lot of people do. In fact, Cool Hand Lee does some welding. There's some other people do some welding for our stands and things like that. We start usually a month after this is be over with. We'll start on next year's, and you know, getting stages, ideas for stages, idea for a theme, writing the stages around it, seeing what props we need to make or revamp or anything like that. Sending out for sponsors, getting all the paperwork, everything ready to let people know about it so that they can get signed up and get in here. This year's theme is Reel to Reel Westerns, R-E-E-L to R-E-A-L. So all the scenarios have a line from a different movie, different Western movie. And we've even incorporated a quiz this year for the people to guess the name of the actor and guess the name of the movie, and we'll give out a prize to the winner of that.
It's very family oriented. We stress safety. It's in this day and time when there's so many misuses of firearms in the news. This is, you know, legitimate, fun, family atmosphere use of firearms. Like I say, we promote safety above everything else, and it's a good time.
We're all about the safety and the fun, people coming out having a good time. The competition runs from people being super fast to people just, you know, dressing up. Runs the gamut. You know, we just try to have a fun, safe atmosphere, and everybody enjoy each other's company playing cowboys like we did when we were kids.
You know, Jason, I was thinking we should have our own nicknames. Let's pick each other's. What would mine be?
Oh, that's easy. You're going to be Hitch Post Lauren.
I love it.
All right there, Hitch Post. What's mine going to be?
Oh, I've had this one brewing for a while, Java Jason.
That's better.
Java and Hitch Post will be back after these messages.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru, Higher Standards, sponsored by Thorns Marine, everything but the water, and Bell Creek Equipment. For farm, home, or fun, Bell Creek is #1.
Welcome back. I recently took my son Riker fishing with some of our friends and my husband. We had a great time. We cut up bloodworms, we casted lines, he used his new fishing pole. Great memories were made.
Great memories are always made when fishing, and we get to relive great memories every week when we remember Scorchy Taws.
Honoring the life and legacy of Scorchy Taws, thanks to Thorns Marine in Long Neck, Delaware. Thorns Marine, everything but the water.
66-year-old Frank Williams is red-haired, ruddy, and ready for menopotting any hour of any day.
Really like it. That's all I've known, and I really enjoy it, and a lot of peace of mind, and it's just no other way for me.
It's a good bet that any given flounder you caught on a live minnow in eastern shore of Virginia waters for the past 25 or 30 years was itself caught by Frank Williams. Frank Williams, a lifelong resident of the Chincoteague area, is almost as much a part of the Delmarva landscape as steamed crabs, but is one of its best-kept secrets. There are those who will tell you that Frank is the #1 minnow man on the entire East Coast. Bait and tackle shop owners in Virginia flounder country depend on him. On Wednesday, we joined Frank on one of his daily minnow pot fishing sojourns, not to help, surely not to offer advice, but to just observe a man who is wallowing in the caress of local history. We went no further than the placid shallow waters of narrow Piney Island Creek, a place watched over by historic Assateague Lighthouse, a place where most of his yesterdays are buried, and a place where the catching expectations rarely exceed the reality.
You're always expecting a lot of minnows in your pots, and most of the time you don't get disappointed. Most of the time you have a lot of minnows in there.
Frank Williams designs his own pots. He baits them with herring, bunker, or any oily fish. He has caught as many as 15 to 18 gallons of minnows a day.
It all depends on the flounder. The flounder come in pretty good, you know. We got, you know, really hustle, and they use a lot of minnows.
Competition is not beating a path to Frank's door. There is no pot of gold at the end of the minnow rainbow. That doesn't bother him in the least.
It's just enjoyable, you know, to get out on a, you know, pretty day and be out where nature is and, you know, see the birds and see the Lord's work.
Scorchy Taws, wandering our Delmarvelous land for WBOC News.
Remembering Scorchy Taws is presented by Thorns Marine, online at thornsmarine.com.
Did you know that the kayak was invented over 4,000 years ago? The first kayaks were made from animal skins and whale bones, and the oldest kayak in existence is around 450 years old.
Did you know the longest kayaking trip on record was set by the world-famous Oscar Speck, a legend in the kayaking community, and the trip lasted over 7 years? Now you do.
Did You Know is sponsored by North Bay Marina. Outdoors Delmarva will be right back. This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru, Higher Standards. Sponsored by Thorns Marine, everything but the water, and Bell Creek Equipment. For farm, home, or fun, Bell Creek is #1.
Welcome back to Outdoors Delmarva. We are off to Cambridge to do a bit of sailing.
Years ago, when I attended a local summer camp, I actually learned how to sail. I love sailing, just not in the ocean.
Well, that's perfect, because when the Eastern Shore Sailing Association invited us out, well, we were headed out onto the Chop Tank.
Well, I was one of the few that was in on the very first meetings, which were held in the home of Jim and Connie Hillman. And it was a group of guys. I guess when they very first started out, they were sailing small boats, 19-foot mariners, and small boats that they could trailer and put in most anywhere. And anyway, they decided to get together and form a sailing association. We're talking 50 years ago. And anyway, they elected some officers, decided what they wanted to do. And this was 1974. And that first year we had 76 members. It was just a group of people who got together, they liked sailing.
The good thing about racing is it's different every time you go, because the wind speed will be different, the course will be different, a lot of times people on the boat will be different. So it's not the same anytime you go. Well, I'd like people to know that we're not a yacht club per se, we're a sailing club, so we don't have a building to maintain, we don't have docks to maintain, so to join, you can get a family membership for $50 or a single membership for $40. And the racing fee is $70. And then to get a handicap rating out of Perth of the Chesapeake, it's like $45, $50. So for less than $200, you can come out and have a good time and race and be scored, and you don't have to
shell out a couple $1,000s a year and eat at the yacht club every month, and so it's a good bargain, really. To have a lot of fun. If you don't have a sailboat, there's always people looking for crew, and we'll have on our website we'll have a place where you can sign up, and people will call you up if they need a crew, and so you can learn that way as well. Most people are willing to train. If it's a really windy day, we have people what we call rail meet, in which they just sit on the high side to keep the boat more level, and but you still learn stuff that way just by listening and being out there. So not everybody owns a boat, and there's like our boat, we can have up to 7 people on this crew, so it's just a good way to have fun, and they call it OPB, sailing other people's boats, and it's a cheap way to get into it. Another sailing joke is you don't quit sailing when you get old. You get old when you quit sailing. And there's a lot of older people in there, and we're actually looking for more young people to get involved, and so just putting it out there that it's a lot of fun.
Hey, good job not falling out of that boat.
Hey, thanks. Although I did have a close call with the sail one time. You really got to keep your head on a swivel out there.
Coming up after the break, we're going to check out our latest viewer photos and the mount of the week.
Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru, returns right after these messages.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Welcome back to Outdoors Delmarva.
It's time to flip through the photo album and take a look at your latest pictures, thanks to our friends at North Bay Marina.
7-year-old Cheyenne Johns and her brother, 10-year-old Curtis Johns, love the outdoors, and it shows.
Cole Conley made the most of his trip to Silver Beach, catching a porgy and a blue crab.
Declan Keene could be out here giving lessons, as he's had a really productive June, and that's no fishtail.
Jackson Croyle caught a good-looking cat out to Pemberton.
Jenny Samuel took her new canoe out for the first time and hauled in a couple of Caroline County bass.
Lynn Galita had a nice day on Taylor's Island with these spotted sea trout, and Molly approved.
Macy Layfield of Georgetown took to the Chesapeake for Father's Day and reeled in this 46-inch cobia.
Claire and Charlie Jones, with their pop-up, had a really good day fishing out on the Chesapeake.
Addison and Colton Cathell each hauled in 26-inch rockfish on Father's Day.
5-year-old Will Parker had a great day down to the chop tank by reeling in his very first catfish.
Porter Bonowell of Laurel caught this Father's Day rockfish out on the Chesapeake with his dad, Zach.
Cash Hastings and Benny certainly know how to enjoy the outdoor life at Trap Pond.
Brian Fitzhugh sent in this photo of a mallard from his farm pond in Seaford.
And Sean Briganti captured this thirst-quenching moment of an Assateague pony. Find more of Sean's work on his Facebook and Instagram pages.
Outdoors Delmarva viewer pictures are sponsored by North Bay Marina.
Before we let you go, we need to check out the mount of the week brought to us by Longhorn Butcher and Taxidermy in Pittsville.
This impressive Sika was harvested in Wicomico County by Kevin Donalds. It's a mount that is certainly worth displaying with pride.
To check out more mounts and to get more information, find Longhorn Butcher and Taxidermy on Facebook.
And that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you so much for watching. Keep sending in those photos by emailing outdoors@wboc.com.
Be sure to scan the QR code in the bottom corner of your screen to see us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and to check out online exclusive content.
And we hope to see you right back here again next week. But until then, my name is Jason Lee.
And I'm Lauren Hitch. And we hope to see you
Outdoors Delmarva.
Outdoors Delmarva, a Draper Media production, is presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Thorns Marine, everything but the water. And Bell Creek Equipment. For farm, home, or fun, Bell Creek is #1.